Okay, so picture this. Someone thanking people for slamming the door in their face.
Um, okay. Sounds like someone who enjoys being rejected.
Not quite. It's more like finding those hidden gems in unexpected places. And that's what we're diving deep into today, those slam doors that lead to some pretty incredible destinations.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Whose journey are we talking about?
We're going to be taking a page out of Pawan Kumar's book. He's the filmmaker behind movies like Lucia and U-Turn.
The name rings a bell.
Right.
Indian filmmaker, right?
That's the one. And his story. It's basically a masterclass in turning setbacks into opportunities.
Okay, color me interested. So how does this whole thanking people for shutting doors thing even come about?
Well, he actually titled his blog post, "Thank you for shutting the door on my face." You gotta admit, it's a pretty bold statement.
That's one way to grab your attention. I'm guessing this isn't your typical follow your dreams kind of story.
Not even close. Pawan's journey is, let's just say, full of surprises. And it all starts with a decision that might make some parents squirm. He dropped out of engineering.
Whoa, okay. So we're talking about someone who isn't afraid to go against the grain.
Exactly. He even talks about how much he loved technology, even dreamt of inventing things like teleporters. But the whole structured academic thing, not so much.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Sometimes the traditional path just doesn't light that fire.
Tell me about it. So, door number one slams shut no more engineering degree. What do you think most people would do in that situation?
Probably scramble to figure out a plan B, right?
And that's where Pawan takes a sharp left turn. He decides to dive headfirst into the world of theater.
Of course. Because who needs a stable career when you can chase the spotlight?
Something like that. But as we all know, the entertainment industry can be brutal. He quickly learns that it's not all fun and applause.
So the reality check hits. What were some of the challenges he faced early on?
He talks about the constant struggle for recognition, the pressure to prove himself, and the importance of knowing your own worth.
Those are valuable lessons for any field, really. Knowing when you're being undervalued is huge.
Absolutely. And sometimes walking away is the best way to protect your passion. So, with his theater dreams kind of fading, Pawan finds himself at another crossroads.
This is where that second door slams shut.
You got it. And it sends him on a one-way train to Mumbai, the heart of the Indian film industry, with a new dream in his sights.
Bollywood, here he comes.
You know it. He's determined to make it big. But, as you can probably guess, Mumbai had other plans.
Let me guess. Those Bollywood dreams didn't exactly pan out as planned.
He talks about living on practically nothing, relying on his girlfriend just to get by. It was a far cry from the glitz and glamour he had imagined.
That's got to be a tough pill to swallow. Going from chasing this huge dream to struggling to make ends meet.
It was definitely a reality check. In his own words, it was during this time that he truly started getting wasted.
Getting wasted. Okay, I'm hoping this is a metaphor and he wasn't hitting the bars every night.
Not literally wasted. He's talking about hitting rock bottom, facing rejection after rejection, feeling totally lost in this new city.
So when he says getting wasted, he's talking about hitting rock bottom, those moments of feeling lost and defeated.
Exactly. But here's the thing. He credits that period of getting wasted as his greatest form of education.
Okay, now that's an interesting perspective. How does hitting rock bottom become a learning experience?
Well, think about it. When you're stripped down, facing all those fears and insecurities head on, you're forced to develop a certain resilience.
It's like you either sink or swim, right?
Exactly. And that resilience, that ability to bounce back, is crucial no matter what you're doing in life.
So two doors slam shut, and Pawan's navigating the less glamorous side of the entertainment world. Where does he go from there?
Well, this is where those unexpected detours, those rabbit holes I mentioned, really come into play. Ready for another twist? So you'd think after those Mumbai adventures, he'd hightail it back home, right?
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't blame him. Feeling a little defeated at that point.
But that's the thing about Pawan. He doesn't give up that easily. Instead of throwing in the towel, he channels all that frustration, all that feeling of being underestimated into something new. He decides to start his own theater company.
Wow, talk about turning a setback into fuel for the fire.
Right. He's not just sitting around licking his wounds. He's taking control. He starts writing, directing, even hitting the streets to promote his plays himself.
That's hustle right there. I can just picture him handing out those flyers.
And it's during this time that he finds a home at Rangashankara, this amazing theater space in Bangalore. He pours his heart and soul into it, nurturing new talent, building a real community.
So it's not just about his own success anymore. He's creating opportunities for other artists. trying to make the scene in Bangalore even more vibrant.
Exactly. He's learned from those tough experiences in Mumbai, and he's using those lessons to build something really special. But here's the thing about Pawan's story. Even when it seems like he's found his groove, another curveball's always around the corner.
Okay, let me guess. Rangashankara becomes another shit door.
You said it. The dynamics of the space change. He starts feeling creatively stifled, like his vision isn't being fully appreciated. He talks about feeling disillusioned.
It's almost heartbreaking, you know. He finally finds this place where he's making a real difference, and then it's like a reminder that even when we think we've found our place, things can shift.
It's about adapting, right, rolling with the punches. And that's something Pawan does incredibly well. Remember those cell phone descriptions I mentioned?
Yeah, the ones he wrote to pay the bills.
Those are the ones. Imagine this. The guy who dreams of Oscars is crafting lines like slim and powerful for a tiny 256-color screen.
Talk about a reality check. But even in those moments, he finds those rabbit holes, those unexpected opportunities for growth.
Absolutely. It's like he has this knack for finding the value in every single experience, even if it's not immediately obvious how it connects to the bigger picture.
It's all about perspective, right?
Yeah.
And that willingness to learn and grow, even when it's not glamorous. And let's be honest, writing those cell phone descriptions probably taught him a thing or two about being concise, about capturing attention with just a few words.
Which are pretty essential skills for a filmmaker, come to think of it.
Exactly. And who knows what he observed about human nature during those corporate gigs?
Yeah.
It all becomes material, right? Those little details that make his films so relatable.
It's amazing how it all connects in the end. And speaking of unexpected turns, he even lands a job interview at On Mobile, this big mobile entertainment company.
Okay, I have a feeling this interview doesn't go quite as planned.
You could say that. He nails the interview, everything's going great, and then they tell him he's overqualified.
Wait, seriously? They rejected him for being too qualified?
Yep, like, you're too good for this job, go chase your dreams.
Wow. Talk about a backhanded compliment. But I guess in a way they did him a favor.
Totally. It was like the universe giving him a gentle nudge saying, okay, enough with the detours. It's time to go make those movies.
So all those closed doors, all those disappointments, they were leading him towards his true calling all along.
It's like each obstacle was clearing the path, you know, forcing him to hone his skills, broaden his perspective, and trust his gut. And when he finally steps behind the camera as a filmmaker, all those experiences, those rabbit holes, they become his secret weapon.
I'm on the edge of my seat. Tell me he finally catches a break.
Oh, he does more than catch a break. He takes the whole game and flips it on its head. So Pawan's ready to make his first film, Life Bishteen. But he can't find a producer. Nobody's biting.
Another door slams shut.
Pretty much. But this time, he finds a way to kick that door wide open himself. He turns to crowdfunding.
Crowdfunding, back then, that was practically unheard of for films, right? Especially in India.
Exactly. It was a huge risk. But you know what? It worked. Life Bishteen becomes a smash hit. Audiences loved it. Critics loved it.
It's like those rejections, those closed doors, they lit a fire under him. You know, push him to find a new way.
Totally. And it proved that sometimes the most unconventional path can lead to the most amazing outcomes. But he doesn't stop there. Remember how he couldn't catch a break in Mumbai? Well, for his next film, Lucia, he decides to do things differently.
Let me guess. He goes back to Mumbai, but this time he calls the shots.
Not quite. He actually faces the same problem with Lucia. No producers, no big-name stars. Nobody wants to take a chance on his vision.
So what does he do?
He goes back to the crowd. He crowdfunds Lucia again.
Wow, talk about trusting your gut. That takes some serious confidence.
Right. And it pays off. Big time. Lucia becomes a phenomenon. Critical acclaim, commercial success, the whole package. Pawan Kumar had officially arrived.
And he did it his way, on his own terms. That's got to be incredibly rewarding.
Absolutely. But beyond the success, it's his mindset, his whole approach to those setbacks, those shut doors, as he calls them. That's so inspiring, don't you think?
Totally. It's like he's saying, hey, you could try to stop me, but I'm going to find a way to make this happen.
And that's a powerful message for all of us, right? No matter what field we're in, what goals we're chasing, there are going to be obstacles, rejections, moments where we want to give up. But what if, instead of letting those setbacks define us, we found a way to use them?
Reframe them. Learn from them. Turn them into fuel for the fire.
Exactly. Easier said than done, I know. But Pawan's story gives us a framework. It's about trusting our instincts, being willing to take risks, and never ever giving up on our vision.
And maybe, just maybe, thanking those closed doors for pushing us in the right direction.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's been a pleasure diving deep with you today. Until next time, remember.
Keep kissing those shut doors. You never know what amazing opportunities might be waiting on the other side.